it's so great to see people like yourselves working together, pulling together to help change what's happening in the climate change. And Snuneymuxw is working hard to also do that, looking at how we can protect our lands and our resources. And so part of the work you're doing here is that's exactly what you're doing.
There's so much ivy in this forest here, and how are we going to get rid of it all, Because it is a species that came from Britain, from Europe. It was one of those beautiful ornamental plants and a sacred plant to the Celtic people, nonetheless. But over here, it has overridden so much of our native species, so much of the medicine plants, the food plants that have thrived here. There's like 2/3 of the forest floor in Colliery Dam is covered with ivy. It's kind of taken over. And so being a settler, coming from that settler ancestry, bringing over these plants, I feel like there's a responsibility to create more balance. How do we make space for the indigenous species, for all those medicines that exist?
Reluctantly climbed, out of my phone, and I re-inhabited my body, and with all its aches and pains and tightness and sadness and emptiness, a regular body in 2024. And my problems breathing sometimes, Glenn knows about that. We breathe together in the room. And that's when Glenn suggested an open air session. I like Glenn's suggestions. Once when I was talking about my phone addiction or my screen time or the way the world was sort of receding from me, he said that we should go into the woods. And we did. These woods, in fact. It made me think there's a new itchiness in life. It's not poison ivy, it's the itch to check. Glenn once asked me to visualize what the phone was doing to me, and I thought about when it arrived, the day it arrived, and how since then it's kind of taken over my mind, the way it took over, how the phone colonized, took over the space in my mind. I'm a colonizer, I'm a settler, and yet I'm being colonized. My mind is being mined. I'm being used for raw material. My grandparents came here, worked on the land, the mill, the logs. They took and took and took. My father worked in logging. Glenn says, maybe you should tell me more about that next time. One of the things Glenn says to me most often is that I am forever elsewhere. You need to root yourself, he says, be present in a place. And I was like, yeah, because you know that feeling when you come up from the phone and the world is briefly new, like you don't belong in it? You see that, don't you? Someone comes up out of their phone trance and looks up and is like, wait a second, where am I? Am I supposed to be here?
Work, connection. Anyone else? Relationship. Relationship. Listening. Effort. Feeling. Not come on. Following. For here.
I'm sorry.
I'm Island.
Honesty.
Honesty. Solidarity.
Love.
Love.
Kinship.
Kinship. Thank you everybody for your help here in that ivy off the land, here in those attitudes away from the mind, spirit. Right, that's it.
Just found a place in the forest. Just found this place and give it to the forest.
Put our hands in the dirt, pull the strands from the earth, following each to the root. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Extricate every sort of fern, pull out the worms from the dirt, looking for something, looking for something, looking for something new.
Long ago, the Creator placed two wolves on top of Tetuchton, and he whispered in their ears, telling them to scour the lands of Snuneymuxw and telling them to find their place and what will be their home. And when they find their home, they need to be able to take care of it because it will provide for them. So you must take care of it so the lands and the oceans or the waters can take care of you.
Let us remember, humanity and this earth are one, their spirit entwined in a symbiotic relationship. Let us save this earth, for this is the only earth we have. Let us replant nettle, crabapple, and elderberry. Let us get back our good old earth. Let us pull together.